The American presidents were people like you and like me, or at least that's how the founders intended them to be. My name's Teddy Ebby. Welcome back to my continuing segment where we talk about the more personable nature of the United States presidents, in this case, their nicknames. Last time, we talked about our fourth U.S. president in history, James Madison, and we talked about his positive nicknames. But today, we're going to talk about those negative nicknames, insults. Now, this definitely feels a little blasphemous. The Constitution, one of James Madison's crowning achievements, was signed today, September 17th, 1787, 238 years ago. But alas, the man had his enemies, so we must talk about his negative nicknames. And we're going to start off with a reference from his positive nicknames because this nickname was also twisted on its head and used as an insult. He was known to many as Little Jemmy. Yes, Madison was only 5'4" and about 120 pounds, but that was kind of overshadowed by the fact that he was sickly, constantly sick. Not only that, but his calm, quiet demeanor was just overshadowed by the military heroes and fiery orators that had preceded him. So critics would often say that Little Jemmy looks a little bit more like a school teacher and less like a leader. Moving right on to number 2, they also called James Madison the puppet. The origin of the belief that James Madison was a puppet president came from the president elected directly before him, Thomas Jefferson. Both Jefferson and Madison were staunch anti-federalists, believers in smaller government, democratic Republicans. And the Federalists, their direct enemies, were still stinging from their defeat to Jefferson in the third presidential terms. Jefferson and Madison's proximity and the comparisons that they naturally drew dogged Madison throughout his whole presidency. Madison was seen as this kind of sidekick to Jefferson, not blazing his own trail, but following up on his mentor's footsteps. So you can see why his detractors said that he lacked courage and originality and accused him of riding into the presidency on Jefferson's coattails. And the last negative nickname that we're going to throw at this founding father is a little bit less well known. He was also insulted as Jemmy the Junto. In the late 1700s and early 1800s, a junto was a slang term for a political or military cabal, a shadowy organization interested in taking control of the government.
You don't think that the lizard people are behind the shadow government?
Madison's alliance with Jefferson to form the Democratic Republican Party, as well as dragging the fledgling United States into the War of 1812, gave enemies ammunition to accuse Madison of being a backroom partisan deal maker. All of these nicknames were meant to sully his reputation as this practical philosopher and instead paint him as this short, sickly, conniving manipulator. So there you have it. The negative nicknames for the fourth U.S. president, James Madison. I promise, he wasn't all bad. Please go back and watch the video about his positive nicknames because that man did a lot for the United States.
Look back at the Bill of Rights, which I wrote.
I'm Teddy Ebby. Join me next time when we talk about our fifth U.S. president, James Monroe, and his positive nicknames.